So thank you so much, Leigh, for being willing to speak to me about Devoted and the journey. As we come towards the end of the journey now, we've got two more sessions, nearly there, nearly at the top of the mountain.
Mm.
And I just really love this time with you to reflect on the journey and the journey that we've taken together, the journey as a circle, and also your journey for you in Devoted. And what feels like a really good place to start is for you to say a little bit about what it was that first sparked you when you saw Devoted, the first moment that sparked something for you.
I think the first moment was the name Devoted. That really stood out to me. But also the fact that it was a 6 month intentional sort of deep dive. I'd seen other circle facilitator courses advertised that were like 5 days or for like a week or 2 weeks. And I knew for me, it had to be really intentional.
Mm,
Um, and yeah, that was what called me with Devoted, really. I
mm,
could feel that immediately from sort of, yeah, reading the transcript that you put up on the link in your bio.
yeah. And when we
Mm.
spoke, I remember you were like, yes, 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 I'm in. I'm in. It was just like, there was no doubt, was there? It was just like, yes, I'm in. I'm so ready for this, which was wonderful to be on the receiving end of that. Like,
Mhm.
let's go, let's do
Mhm.
this. And I love what you shared about the intention, intentionality and being intentional and
Mm.
the difference of actually having that at the root of the training versus like, oh, we can teach you how to learn circle in a few days. Here you go, off you go. And to me,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
frameworks are great, but actually, one of the intentions that I had with Devoted was to bring us into circle so that it's not
Mm.
just me giving you a framework to go out and teach, but actually we're learning, rewiring, we're circling together. Um,
Mm.
and I wonder how that was for you to be in the circle, not just learning about circle, but actually to be in the circle with others.
Um, for me, it was, I guess, a bit unexpected. I didn't really know what to expect, so there wasn't an expectation. But it was being in circle was very much like an opportunity for me to deep dive with myself, um, with a group of other people who were holding me through that
Yeah.
and witnessing me sort of through that process. Um, it immediately felt like home,
Mm,
and it immediately felt like um, this is exactly where I'm meant to be. And I felt that from the very beginning. And it's also allowed me to dive deeper with myself and meet myself deeper, which I've noticed in my everyday life has allowed me to meet others deeper without sort of a, a conscious yeah, without really consciously doing that. It's happened very naturally, and subconsciously, if that makes sense, throughout the process of the course.
mm, mm. Yeah,
Mm.
thank you. And something that I share that you will know is around how when we meet ourselves and we allow ourselves to be met by others, it shifts and
Mm.
changes, it rewires us, and it is one of the most natural states of being, right? To be met and
Yeah.
to be together. And to me, that's really speaks of what you shared. It felt, it felt like home. And to me, circle for many, not always, but that sense of home, of belonging, of I'm here. And something that's become really, really crystal clear for me on the journey is in being in circle with others and meeting yourselves, ourselves in this way of intentionality.
Mhm.
It shifts everything around. It changes
Yes.
life. It changes
Mhm.
relationships. It's like this, like it's life changing. Well,
Mhm.
it's not the big like life-changing transformation that sells, boom, you'll have this and you'll be this and that. But actually, it is life-changing. And for me, and I think speaking for both of us here, and tell me otherwise, it's life enhancing.
Yes. I felt myself expanded and growing throughout this course internally. And I've actually felt the shifts. And yeah, I can see the ripple effect that that's having in my life,
Mm.
and just how my awareness of self has grown, how my compassion for self and others has grown. So when I say it's been unexpected, I guess I didn't preempt that happening at the way it has, and the feeling of it so deeply, where I'm literally like having these moments where I'm like, wow, I can feel this shift, or wow, I've literally can feel my mindset shifting and my perspective shifting, and a situation has arose in my life, and I can feel myself sitting with it and having a deeper awareness of it than before. And it's just having those little moments where I'm like, this is actually making sense to me in a different way. And looking at it in this different way, I have a completely different approach in how I deal with that, which is healthier and actually, um, I find it serves me better. So
Mm.
it's little things like that that have been happening throughout this course, and I'm still feeling now. And yeah, I don't want the course to end because I don't want that feeling to end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I just actually was just reading a reflection form from our last practice day, and someone else shared, "Don't want this to end." I'm like, I
Mm,
know, and everything, when we end well, and I think
mm,
this is something that's really important. It's like when we end well, it's clean, it feels
mm.
good, and part of the relational space is to end well, and then who knows what will come after that. But yeah, it's like, please don't make it end it. But,
Yeah.
we get that sense of home, and yeah, and then it's in us. And for me, I've been in so many different circle spaces now over the years that oh, home is here, and home is
Mm,
also here, and I can
mm,
create home here. And I just want to touch on something that you shared there to bring you into a little bit of my reality is last night I was sat with my husband, and I was actually um, writing a post for Instagram, and they take me ages to write. Okay, but I wanted to. We've been married 12 years this weekend, and I said our marriage is as strong as it is because of my being in circle and being held in circle. And I was reflecting on all the gifts I've had from circle and how it's improved the relational space. I learn in circle. It's like a human learning training place, and then I come back home and practice and learn, and yeah, it's
mhm.
it's wonderful. So I really hear that in you, and I'm really seeing that in all the other people in the circle. Mm. So I wonder yeah, where should we go next? I want to speak about the elders, actually. That's coming through for me now. The elders that we've had in the circle, because for me, when I put this journey together, it was really, really clear that I wanted elders to
Mm.
be in the space. And we've had two incredible elders, Elisa and Mama Lula. And I know for you, I remember watching your face in the circle, like, oh yeah, like in many moments. And I just wondered if you could share with us some words, like how was it for you to be held in the circle with elders?
Um, it was like having a direct channel to the ancestors.
Mm,
That's the only way I can describe it.
wow.
And the wisdom that came through, and the just the power. It was very it was very nurturing in like a motherly way,
Mm,
and it was very anchoring for me.
mm,
And a lot of the things that they touched on helped me to just recognize that, yeah, I'm exactly where I need to be. And it was like the answered questions that were subconsciously inside of me.
Mm.
So they hadn't even come to the forefront. But when they said certain things, I was like, ah, yeah, that's something that underneath, I guess I was questioning in regards to things like creating my community.
Mm.
Questions came up for me about the inclusivity of it for others and whether that was right. Because as somebody who's felt quite excluded for many reasons in my life in certain spaces, I didn't want to make other people feel like that. But having that session with Mama Lula, where she explained that, if this is your calling, kind of own that and honor that. And you don't have to kind of answer to anybody because of that. And that just gave me this deep feeling of, yeah, I know this is a calling for me. And I felt it so deeply within. I'm not going to let anybody else question that and make me question that within myself. There's plenty of other work I want to do that is inclusive, but the space I'm creating is important for me. And I felt the calling with that. So yeah, I'm not going to question that moving forward. And I'm really just going to just trust and surrender to that feeling and that calling and that purpose. But it was having the elders sort of transmute that message to me that gave me that clear understanding of it and took away, I guess, the questions that other people had brought up in the background surrounding what I was doing.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you. Yeah, I've gone all
Mm-hmm.
tingly. And just thinking, so you've had a practice circle and you've been out in the community sharing your calling now. And tomorrow is your
Mm-hmm.
first in-person circle where you've actually put it out there, charging, coming in, this is stepping into your work, your calling, your medicine. And yeah, it's been beautiful to see you really craft your medicine. Can you share a little bit more about the circles that you're holding?
Yeah, I mean, the initial circles that I held were kind of gifted circles to my sisters, blood sisters, and chosen sisters. And for me, it was an opportunity to give back to them for the love and support that they've given me throughout sort of our relationships. And an opportunity for me to, I guess, practice stepping more into that purpose. Um, the circle I'm holding tomorrow for my community is a circle created in sacred space for sapphic souls, queer women, non-binary people, trans people to come into a sacred space and create a sacred community, really, because I see the need for that in my community. And as somebody who has struggled to find belonging in certain sapphic and queer communities, I saw that there wasn't many queer communities up in the northwest that offered a safe space like that for sapphic souls. Um, and it was a need and desire that I had for a space like that that kind of ignited the fire inside of me to want to create a space like this.
Mm.
Um, and in doing that, the second I made that decision in my mind that this is something I was going to do, it was literally like within a week that I seen um the advertisement on your Instagram for Devoted. So it all kind of happened. Yeah, I made the decision, and I didn't even know at that point whether it was a circle facilitators course I wanted to do, a breathwork facilitators course I wanted to do, a sound facilitators course. But when the circle came up, it just it just deeply spoke to me, and it was like, this is the foundation, this is the root, this is how, we gathered thousands of years ago, our ancestors gathered, and yeah, that just solidified that this is where it needs to begin for me. And then the breath work and the sound has sort of come off that. So yeah, everything's just fallen into place and aligned. The people that I've aligned with, the spaces that I've connected with, where I'm hiring a space, the women I've connected with there, everything has just come in perfect alignment.
Mm.
Like you couldn't write this. Even my connection with yourself on this course, like everything's just felt so aligned. And it was all began from me just making that decision that this is what I'm going to do. I didn't know how I was going to do it at that point, but it all kind of, yeah, came into fruition. And yeah, I couldn't have even planned it better myself.
Yeah, I love that. I couldn't have even planned it better myself.
Yeah,
And sometimes the work is actually just to surrender to. It's
yeah, to
like, okay,
trust and let go.
following that.
Yeah,
Yes, you know, following the
yes,
the wisdom of the body.
yes,
And the mind will often come up with all sorts of reasons why. Oh, I don't know, is this is
yeah.
so just on that as we come towards the end, um, what would you say to somebody who's curious about devoted and maybe in that middle space of I'm not sure, I'm sitting on the fence, the mind is quite busy, maybe there's a, you know, something moving through them. There's definitely a nudge, but what would you say to somebody who is uncertain, unsure? What would you want them to know?
I mean, for me, like I said, it's been life changing. And I feel what I've learned on this course are our practices, our levels of awareness, our like the deep growth within myself. You you can't learn that from any book, or you can't learn that from, I guess, any 5 day course. And for me, if you are a person with deep intention, um, and you're on a journey of self-discovery and growth, whether you even take this course and put it into practice for circle facilitating, you can get so much from this course just for your own self-development and growth. Um, I'd advise anybody to dive right in and yeah, just enjoy the ride. It's a
By the
beautiful,
ride.
beautiful journey.
Yeah.
I want to do it again.
Round two, round
Yeah,
two.
can we go
Yeah,
again?
can we go again? I know. I'm hearing that quite a lot now. It's quite funny. I'm like, yeah, and we come towards the end. We come towards the end of our journey. We come towards the end of this
Mm,
call now as well, this space together. But yeah, that feels beautifully complete for me. Is there anything that feels important to finish with, or do you feel complete?
no, I'm just deeply grateful that I listened to the call.
Mm,
And yeah, I'm dre- deeply grateful that you gave me this opportunity
mm,
to be, with this amazing circle of women on this journey.
mm.
And yeah, it's something that I can't even put into words
Yeah,
what is brought to my life. And yeah, I'm just grateful for yourself, grateful for the amazing women in the circle, and yeah, just deep gratitude for this journey.
what a journey. Thank you
Mm,
so much, Leigh. And we'll share the link as to where people can find you. And all the best for your amazing circle tomorrow.
thank you.
Thank you, my
I'm
love.
excited.
Thank you.
You take care. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you.